In today's world, cyber access, cybersecurity, and digital citizenship are extremely important. Before we get started, I'm going to give a brief overview of who we are. Global Computer Literacy is a nonprofit that seeks to both provide access to computers and provide training regarding how to use the internet safely and effectively. You can support the program by helping us raise awareness and supporting our cause. For more information, please visit globalcomputerliteracy.org. In today's world of advancing technology, learning to navigate devices safely is of the utmost importance. Unfortunately, these devices are not always the safest since hackers can exploit vulnerabilities in them. Today, we will briefly be going over internet safety, email safety, password security, and social media. So, why is this important? About 323.1 million people are in the US, and the Equifax breach affected around 145.5 million people. That is nearly half the US. Hackers attack every 39 seconds, affecting 1 out of 3 citizens each year. 1 out of every 131 emails contains malware. Let's transition into our first topic, internet safety. So, to stay safe on the internet, it's important to know three main things: how to identify a secure website, features to disable and enable on a computer, and how to use a public computer. Okay, so always type the URL in your browser yourself, and do not click on a link from an email and enter your personal data unless it meets the following criteria. So, to identify whether a website is safe to enter personal information or not, check for the lock icon in the address bar of your browser, check for the HTTPS at the beginning of the website, and URL view the certificate under more details to see if the website is legitimate or not. This step applies only if you are using a computer. Okay, so let's give a little opportunity to see if you can identify whether a website is safe or not. I'll give you a second for you to analyze the Macy's homepage. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed was that they do have the lock icon in the address bar, which is a huge thumbs up. And next, they do have the HTTPS in the at the beginning of the website, and that's also another very good thing. And I know you guys couldn't do this, but I went ahead and I could check in under secure connection. I could see that one, that there is a secure connection, so I know my information is private when it's sent to this site, and two, the certificate shows that it is a valid website. Okay, so different browsers may show it differently, but the idea of it is essentially the same. Okay, so how to prevent online tracking? So to prevent online tracking, we recommend again three main things: clear your cookies and cache, choose the do not track browsing traffic option in your browser, and turn on private browsing mode, also known as incognito mode. Okay, so internet cookies and cache are small bits of information that store things like online habits, preferences, and user credentials. So you should clear your cache and cookies periodically to prevent companies from accessing stored data. And after clearing cookies, the browser may ask you to relog in. All right. Often websites track you based on what websites you have visited in the past to sell you relevant products that may seem of interest to you. And so in the settings section, you can send a do not track signal to the website. And websites can choose to reject this request, but it is certainly a good precaution to take and does not mean that you should do bad things on other people's websites. Okay, so how to disable browser tracking? So in settings, if you go to privacy and security, under privacy and security, you can choose an option to send a do not track request with your browsing traffic right here. Okay, so now let's talk about incognito, also known as the private browsing mode. So using this mode prevents cookies and search history from being stored on your computer. And incognito and private browsing mode does not make you anonymous on the internet, but none of your activities will actually be stored on that device. So this is actually really helpful if you're using a public computer, so that way your last activity on that browser is not stored. Okay, so how to turn on incognito mode? So in the top right corner, you can see there's these three dots. And if you click that, you have an option to open a new incognito tab, and you know that you've gone incognito when you receive this, and you see that this symbol is right here as well as in the top right corner. If you're using a computer, you can also you can try clicking Command Shift N or Control Shift N, and that should also open a new incognito tab for you. Okay, so identifying privacy settings. Privacy settings are universal and are helpful in ease and safety with browsing. So right here, there's three main things that you can enable in your privacy settings. So first option is to protect you and your device from dangerous sites. So enable that. You can send a do not track request with your browsing traffic. That should be a review. And lastly, clear your browsing data. So that's clearing history, cookies, cache, and more. All right. So let's talk about using a public computer. So when using a public computer, it is recommended that you enable incognito and private browsing mode. Never select the remember me option, as other users will be able to access your accounts, and quit the browser after the session is over. Okay, so let's talk about email safety. So emails are the most vulnerable place for hackers to obtain your data. And to better protect yourself from malicious emails, it is important to know how to identify phishing emails and to determine if a link or attachment is malicious. So phishing emails seek to obtain the recipient's personal information by impersonating another corporation or entity. These emails imitate legit companies' emails look and feel, but include links that trick you into giving up your personal information. Okay, so when you're identifying a phishing email, within these phishing emails, there are often links and or attachments that lead to websites or download malware on your computer. And if you're ever unsure about a link or attachment, make sure you never click it. So let's give a few examples. So first example, you receive this email, and they're saying your mailbox is close to exceeding the storage limit, and you are currently running on 19.7 gigabytes. Click here to increase your mailbox size, or you lose your account within 24 hours. Okay, so first of all, um, just by reading this email, I'm getting a little unsure vibe because they're saying click here to increase your mailbox size or you lose your account within 24 hours, which does not seem like a very logical response. And again, they're saying for you to click here. And this is an attempt. This is a phishing email. This is an attempt for you to visit this website and give them your personal information. So in order to see if this website is trustworthy or not, you can use the criteria we had provided previously in the slideshow. And this is another example. Right here, they're asking you to download a PDF document, which could either download like a virus on your computer, or again have you put in personal information that they could use against you. All right, so identifying phishing emails. So Virus Total is a free service. You can download that, and it allows you to check whether a link is malicious. So that will come really in handy with these malicious emails. And so popular email services such Gmail, Yahoo, and Hotmail allow you to report phishing emails. And if an email seems suspicious, again, make sure you always report it. This will flag similar emails in your mailbox, preventing future instances of phishing. All right, let's talk about spam emails. So, spam emails are emails that advertise an unwanted product, and reporting emails as spam moves them to a separate folder away from your inbox, usually named spam. Make sure that you report spam as spam and phishing as phishing. All right, password security. So, there's three main things we're going to talk about for password security: criteria for creating a strong password, how to create a memorable passphrase, and how to use a secure password manager. Okay, first, so password strength criteria. So, first of all, password length really does matter. The length should be around 11 to 14 characters long, and It should have upper and lowercase alphanumeric characters, and it should contain at least one number and one special character. For example, like the exclamation mark and at symbol, etc. And a couple of important notes to call out: make sure you never share your password. Don't use the same password everywhere. And even if you fulfill all of these criteria, you will still be vulnerable if you end up sharing your information. Okay, so passphrase creation. Passwords with dictionary words are very easy to crack. A trick to create a memorable, strong password is to incorporate a passphrase. So, for example, suppose your password is IBMTEODOTW1 exclamation mark. So this could be a passphrase for I brush my teeth every other day of the week one exclamation mark. Okay, let's talk about uh, password managers. So, password managers store all of your other passwords either locally or on the cloud. We recommend these two password managers. First one is One Password, which is a paid cloud-based password manager, and second is LastPass, which is a free cloud-based password manager. So remember to allow signing in with Google and Facebook for other applications may be convenient, but means that if your Google and Facebook account is hacked, then they will have access to all your other accounts. Also, Google and Facebook and the application you are logging into will gather more information about you. All right, last topic, social media. So, common social media platforms include Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, etc. Social media describes websites or applications that facilitate the creating and sharing of information. And social media is like a public square. There are so many people that you don't know, and really, it is an open space. That does not mean that you do not use it, but it just means that you should be more safe and cautious when you are using it. So make sure you never share sensitive personal information, share passwords, and share something online that you would not say in public. And make sure you always only connect with people that you know personally. Okay, catfishing. So, catfishing is an instance where one pretends to be someone to form a relationship with you, and using this relationship, they will ask for personal or confidential information. And make sure you never talk to strangers online and reveal personal information to strangers. All right, so that's all. A quick summary. We talked about the complexities of the internet safety, email safety, password security, and social media. We covered all four things, and we thank you so much for listening.